UFC 308 just took place, and man, oh man, that might have been the best card of the year, best card that UFC has ever put on. And it's not just because Max Holloway got slept. Listen, guys, I don't hate Max Holloway that much. I respect him as a fighter. He's an absolute legend of the game, and I appreciate all the fights he's put on. I love his fighting style, and I think he's great. But when he's against Illia Topuria, the future of the UFC, and somebody who actually will get on the mic and talk some shit and bring some shit into reality, it's hard. It's hard to be rooting for Max here. But all the Max Holloway fanboys have been humbled. Everybody in the comment sections just, man, the Blessed Express, man, he's gonna go in there and do it. Oh, what a fucking great card. This shit was stacked top to bottom. There were very few boring fights on this entire card. I feel like the entire time I was on the edge of my seats. And, I was switching around a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, just to tell you and kind of give you an example as to why this card was so good, or not why it was so good, but to explain how good it was. I lost $100 on this card, and I can't get this smile off my fucking face after how good this shit was. Top to bottom, it was stacked. I'm going to go ahead and start with the very top of the top, the most recent in all of our memory, Illia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Max Holloway getting slept in round 3. Wow. Wow. That was fucking awesome. And guys, I don't want the narrative that, yo, Max Holloway is whooping his ass. If Illia didn't land that shot, I don't want any of it. Illia Topuria, just like he did with Volkanovski, Volk was looking great round 1. Max was looking decent. I thought he lost round 1. I thought he won round 2. I had it 19-19 going into round 3. But I just knew it was a matter of time before Illia set up that shot. Listen, guys, when you have somebody that can box, that can wrestle, and that can do jiu-jitsu at the highest level of the division, it's a different type of fighter. I know a lot of people who have never fought, who don't train anything, and who are just kind of casuals and just kind of see the Max Holloway knockouts, and even though he's really never knocked out anybody, I know everybody who's a casual is just gonna wipe it off, and it's a popularity contest at that point. But listen, guys, Illia Topuria is a different fucking breed, and I'm telling you guys this, and I've been telling everybody since the fucking Bryce Mitchell fight, since this guy got in the UFC, I've been telling everybody, man, Illia Topuria is a different fucking breed, man. You better watch out. This guy's on the come up. And then that Bryce Mitchell fight, people finally started to take notice. Like, well, wait a second. I'm serious. This guy's different, man. He's built different. I don't see anybody beating him. Diego Lopez looked fucking shook in the crowd. He looked like he didn't want a single piece of that. Thank God Max Holloway made weight and Diego Lopez didn't have to step in there because he would have gotten fucking annihilated. Movsar Evelev, same ordeal, man. He goes to shoot and he gets fucking pancaked just like Bryce Mitchell did. Not even competitive. And for fuck's sakes, why are we bringing Volkanovski into the cage? Didn't this guy just get knocked out last fight cold? Go fight Diego Lopez and then earn your shot. Now I get it. Give Volk the rematch, that's fine. But after this rematch with Volk, I want to see Evelev and Diego Lopez scrap it out for a number 1 contenders fight. And then I wouldn't mind seeing Illia move up to fight Islam. Who's really left? Who's really left in the division? I mean, here's the order I'd like to see things. I'd like to see Max Holloway go and fight Diego Lopez, and I'd like to see Movsar fight Josh Emmett for a number 1 contenders bout. And yeah, I think that would be a good. And then the winner of those two fight each other, and then we get the next fighter. But I just don't really see anybody on Illia Topuria's level right now. Obviously, he had a sick KO over Max Holloway, sick KO over Volkanovski. This guy's a different breed. Who's going to beat him? I don't think anybody. So I'd like to see him move up and knock out Islam Makhachev. I'm sick of his face up in that title spot. I like Islam. I think he's a good champion, but fuck him. Let's ride the Illia bandwagon all the way to the fucking moon. Let's promote this guy. Let's get him up there. Let's have him go knock out Islam Makhachev. Let's have him go take that belt. Then let's see if he can cut down another weight class and go take that belt off fucking Merab Dvalishvili. That would be cool too. Why not? Fuck, Illia is the future of this sport, and I absolutely love Illia. I'm so glad he went and humbled all the Max Holloway fans. You guys can go and cry and fucking chirp. He didn't land that, whatever bullshit, man. Get fucked. Illia Topuria is the champion, and there is no dethroning this guy, man. Good fucking luck. He is well-rounded and solid everywhere, and he's got a chin. Look at his legs. I'm sorry to be dick riding or whatever, but look at his legs. Like when you see his thighs and you just see him kind of bouncing and doing his thing, and head movement. Just pander down to the legs, and you see this like, dude, his muscle insertions on his thighs and his knees. You saw Max Holloway front kick and stomp on that knee, no effect and to no avail, because this guy is built fucking different, and he is the pound for pound best right now, and there's really no debate. You could go ahead and bring up Alex Pereira. He's great. But the level of competition that Illia Topuria has beaten is in fact higher. But now, do I actually think that? I mean, this is just public opinion, whatever. I think that there's been an echo chamber in the top 5 for a very long time. I've said this since last year. I think Volkanovski's shit. I think Max Holloway's shit. I think TKZ is shit. I think Yair Rodriguez is shit. I think Brian Ortega is shit. I think all these guys that have just been fighting each other and hiding, I think they're all shit. I'm excited for this new generation. I'm excited for a division that's finally giving me something. And Illia is the best on the mic right now, and he's the best champ we have in the UFC. You could try to name somebody else. The closest I have is Dricus. Yeah, whatever that means. That's the closest I have right now to somebody that's as good as Illia on the mic and as good in fighting style-wise and as entertaining. But I think Illia is the most entertaining champ fight-wise and the best on the mic. So we absolutely need to push this guy. Everybody needs to get behind this guy. All you Max Holloway fans should be converted. I'm not trying to be too harsh on you guys, because I need you guys to convert and push Illia. This guy needs to be an absolute fucking superstar, because that's what he deserves. And Illia's badass. He showed a lot of respect after the fight. Very commendable guy. His fight style is awesome, and he's awesome on the mic. And remember, guys, this is like his 4th or 5th language, so give him time. He's only getting better and better. But anyways, I'm done glazing Illia Topuria. Let's go ahead and get on to the co-main event of the evening, which was Robert Whitaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Also called it as well. I didn't call the round 1. I mean, I think that was a shock to everybody. I know me and my buddy, we both looked at each other like, no fucking shot that just happened. Khamzat Chimaev takes Robert Whitaker down. As I said, I didn't think his takedown defense was that impressive. Takedown defense was that impressive, and he gets a round 1. Fuck's sakes, I've had a few drinks. He gets a round 1 face crank on Robert Whitaker, who tapped before I feel like the lock was even in. He broke his jaw. He broke Robert Whitaker's jaw, and I think he's undeniable at this point. How could you say Khamzat doesn't jump the line over Strickland? Yeah, I think this guy, I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, I think he runs through Strickland, who's already shown holes in takedown defense. I think he's levels above him. I think he's levels above everybody in the division in terms of grappling, and there's no doubt about that. And it definitely would be interesting to see him against Dricus. I know a lot of people saying that Dricus would eat his lunch and whatever, but I don't know, man. Especially after seeing something like that, I don't know if you could confidently say that Dricus runs through this guy. I think it's closer than people give it credit for. And if Khamzat gets to the right spot and gets to it. Listen, I think Dricus doesn't have a ground game, and I'm just going to go ahead and come out here and say this. I think he's getting reversed by Darren Till, whatever. That takedown on Robert Whitaker, everything is wrestling with Robert Whitaker getting taken down by him. If you want my early predictions, I think Khamzat Chimaev finishes Dricus in round 1 as well. I think Khamzat's built different. I think the middleweight division sucks at wrestling. I think it's going to take somebody like Fluffy Hernandez to be able to stop Khamzat Chimaev at this point. And like I said, that Kamaru Usman win was very underrated, and it showed tonight. But yeah, I'm super excited with the main and co-main. I smacked those two on the head. And the feature fight, which was Magomed Ankalaev versus Charlie Rakic. Who cares? I did get this one right. There was no narrative shift. I missed that part of my prediction, but I did get the fight prediction right. So, yeah, Magomed's pretty good. He's faster than I thought he was. I thought Charlie Rakic would have a huge speed advantage, but Magomed's pretty good. He got no takedowns. I still stand strong on my fact that I think Magomed has shit takedowns. I think he's got shit grappling. I still don't think he beats Pereira at this point, but he is very calm, calculated, and he does look cerebral in there. So Yeah, it was a good win by him. He got the decision. He won 2 of the 3 rounds. I thought Rakic took round 1, but yeah, he looked decent. He looked good in there. So let's go ahead and see him versus Alex Pereira for the title shot next. Next up, we have Dan Ige versus Lerone Murphy. I called this fight to an absolute T. I said Dan Ige would land a knockdown in round 1. The only thing I didn't call, I did say Dan Ige would win, but he didn't do what I thought he'd do in the first round, or third round. I knew he'd get that knockdown in round 1. Round 2, I knew Lerone would start to implement some of the grappling and then take over a bit in the striking. Fuck's sakes. And then round 3, I thought Dan Ige would be able to put the pace, and I thought Lerone Murphy would be a little bit gassed at least, but he didn't, and he showed some decent cardio, and he took advantage of the positions, and this fight I think was called right. I think it was a Lerone Murphy victory, 29-28. So yeah, Dan Ige looked decent, as he always does, comes out strong round 1. Lerone Murphy always gets catched round 1, so eventually he will be punished for that, but not this fight. So yeah, that is... Oh, fuck's sakes. The main event. It's not the main event. Sharaputdinov versus Armen Petrosyan. Man, the most badass knockout I've seen in a very long time. Dude, a double spinning back fist. He hits with one side, spinning back fist, comes around the other side, and cracks him with this little fucking Sharingan eye, man. That was probably the coolest knockout I've seen in a long time. And seeing it in slow motion doesn't do it justice. They showed a live action replay of that, of him throwing it in full speed, and my God, was that fast. Okay, I'll be the first to say it. I was hating on Shara, and I think, I hate to be that casual MMA fan that changes after one fight. But fuck, dude, I'm on the Shara bandwagon, bro. I'm on the Pirates bandwagon. That was a fucking dope fight. I loved it from start to finish. I love the kickboxing exchanges. I love to see what Char's actually made of against a guy who's proven, who's beaten Gregory Rodriguez, who's beaten CLD. And he looked fucking great, man. It looked like he had a little bit of trouble coming out starting. He looked a little bit cold coming out. I was a little nervous for him, but he ended up finding the distance, finding the timing, finding the range, and then he ended up getting a huge knockout. I think it was round 2. Might have been round 3. I can't remember, but... fucking insane. Let me just go ahead and confirm that real quick. Yeah, round 2. End of round 2. Man, what a dope knockout. We've never seen that. I don't think anybody's ever seen that before. That's never been done in the UFC. Absolutely badass. I'm on the Shara bandwagon. Let's go. Let's get this guy a top 10 opponent. Let's give him a top 5 opponent. Let's give him Israel Adesanya. I'd be super entertained with that matchup. I'd like to see him not fight any more grapplers. Fuck it, bro. I don't want to see him fight a grappler. He's so fun to watch that I'd be happy to see him get the Alex Pereira treatment. So, absolutely beautiful performance from Sharaputdin. If you haven't watched that knockout, please go watch it. It was the knockout of the card, apart from Illia Topuria sleeping the Blessed Express. But yeah, anyways, let's go to the prelims. Ibo Aslan KOs Rafael Cerqueira. I got this one wrong. I didn't really research this one as much as I should have. I actually did see a fight from Rafael Cerqueira that would have put me off to him, but I thought it was a different guy because he didn't even look the same. Yeah, Rafael Cerqueira comes in there. He doesn't do anything, and Ibo just took advantage of that. He came in there, landed a big left hook, I think, and stumbled him and put the beating on him and got him out of there round 1, 50 seconds in. And, yeah, pretty badass. Not much else to say about that. Jeff Neal versus RDA. Jeff Neal came in there. His boxing looked crisp, and he was fucking up RDA. RDA ended up tweaking his knee, and Jeff Neal gets the round 1 finish. We had 2 injuries on this card. That was one of them. And I think the fight of the night goes to Mateus Rebecki versus Mitabek Orobai. This was the fight that actually blew up my parlay, and man, I couldn't have been happier with any other fight blowing up my parlay because this was a fucking bloodbath. What is this guy's head made of? Mitabek, I don't know how the fuck he survived. This guy's an absolute caveman. I've already said it before, but he's a fucking Neanderthal, like proper. It was insane to watch that. Watching him get his head bounced around, get eaten every shot, and like his face doesn't change at all. Like he just eats it, and then like you see like a big welt swell up, and his face doesn't move. It doesn't change. His head barely moves. We actually did get to see him look human and stumble a little bit, but holy fuck, what a fight. Mateus does end up getting the decision, a split decision. So, my 8-leg parlay for 600 got blown up by split decision, one leg. I can't be too mad because the fight was so fucking good. But I did have Mitabek Orobaj, so that being one of the other ones I missed. So I missed Rafael Surcaria, which, I mean, it was a pick'ems. I was not confident on that one. The only confident pick I missed on this entire card was Mitabek, and it was pretty unfortunate to see him lose, but good for Mateus Rebecki. I think he is still going to be a prospect in the division. I think Orobaj needs to get the fuck out of Team Alpha Male because they suck, and his brain kind of sucks, and you could just take a look at him and you would also know that his brain is not really as developed as the rest of ours. So next up we have Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. I did pick Abus to win. He had this much cardio left, and he got the fucking job done. He looked up at the clock. He said he kind of just had the feeling, this much cardio left, and he shot. He got the arm triangle, and he got it done. He was looking great in round one. Then Bruno Ferreira actually made the adjustment, like, okay, like I actually need to get in and fight this guy. I don't know why I'm trying to fight at range. It clicked for him, and sure enough, he went in there, and he started to put the pace on Abus. It looked like Abus was going to get finished a couple times in there. He got fucked up, dropped, and then he got his head pounded in a couple of times, and he still ended up getting a shot, taking him down. Made it to round 3, where he started to look a little bit better, but Bruno Ferreira had moments, but then he got the takedowns, worked off that, and got a submission by arm triangle. It was a great one. Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat for that one. Next up, Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett. Fat slob, bowling ball. I wish I'd done a little bit more research. I wouldn't have had, I had a parlay with them to get out of the first round. I didn't know Chris Barnett tore his Achilles 3 months ago, or he came back from Achilles surgery 3 months ago, or something like that. I don't know. In the very beginning of the fight, I want you guys to go back and watch if you didn't see it. I feel like I was one of the only people who saw it, but he jumped in the very beginning when Bruce Buffer was announcing him. And when he jumped, he came down, and the second he came down, he looked at the hurt leg that ended up being hurt later on. I think he fucked up his Achilles right when he jumped in the very beginning. His body wasn't warm. He's a big fat fuck, and he's 5'9" and 300 pounds, and he's sitting there going and jumping the second he gets into the cage. Man, we got to lock in and not do this stupid shit. Coming from a guy who has had injuries, bro, we can't just be playing around, joking around, like, you know, doing this goofy shit, bro. Make sure you're warm before you're doing that shit. He's coming into the cage, jumping and slamming his feet on the ground with that big, heavy, fucking obtuse body coming down on top of his legs, and of course you're gonna fuck your shit up. And then he ends up throwing some stupid spinning back kick, and instead of just sticking with the Chris boxing and just kind of hanging out and feeling it out, because I feel like he did get close to catching Kennedy Nzechukwu with some moments, and obviously he's going to be aware of the spinning back kicks. Why not bring that out later on round 2? Make him think about the hands and then bring that out later. But he ends up going in there and blowing his Achilles or his hamstring out, something. He ended up fucking himself up. Who cares? Kennedy Nzechukwu by first round finish, injury. Next up, this was also, I feel like, a pretty sick fight. I feel like Victor Hugo really pushed the pace. Fareed looked sharp as hell. And, yeah, I think this was a really entertaining fight. Low-key, kind of a slept-on fight in this one. Fareed went in there. He got the decision win. Victor Hugo was rolling for a lot of shit, doing a lot of Imanardi rolls, looking for the leg locks, looking for the ankle locks. And, yeah, the story of the fight was Fareed's right hand was just sharp, man. He was just sharp in there, and he was just measuring distance, making Victor Hugo come after him and just landing the right hand whenever he'd enter the distance, and whenever he'd wait, he would find that right hand as well, throw a couple leg kicks, used a little bit of wrestling, and a good bit of wrestling in round 3, and then throughout the fight made him think about the takedowns. Fareed is a calculated, cerebral fighter, and he gets the job done, which Victor Hugo, like I said, I do appreciate people like that. I don't think Victor Hugo should be cut for that. I like that when his coaches told him in round 3 to get going and get moving, he actually fucking said, really, do I need to get going? And they told him, yeah, you need to get going, and you need to win this fight. You need to finish him. And he actually went out there and looked for the finish. It had me on the edge of my seat because I had Fareed Basharat by decision. I did get that right. I did get the Kennedy Nzechukwu fight right. I did get the Abus fight right. And, yeah, then we go down to Ismail Nordiev versus Bruno Silva. Listen, cut Bruno Silva. Listen, I love Blindado. I love the idea of Blindado, the old Bruno Silva, you know, back when he actually looked like he wanted to be in the octagon. There was no heart in there. I mean, he just didn't want to. The only heart he had was to not be embarrassed at this point. It wasn't. It wasn't to win the fight. It was just to not get finished. His only goal in there was to survive and just throw enough where Ismail wouldn't commit to a long combination that would have the ref step in. I thought it was a pathetic performance by Bruno Silva. I think Ismail, I guess, looked decent. He'll get fucked up by anybody else in that division, but Bruno is done. Let's go and cut him from the UFC. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He doesn't want to be there. Let's just go and get him out. But yeah, Ismail Nordiev gets a decision. He couldn't even take Bruno Silva out of there, so wasn't really that impressive of a performance for me. I think 100 or 66 strikes to 36. I just thought it was pathetic. At least Ismail looked like he wanted to be there, so props to him. He got the nod. Good stuff. Lastly, the most controversial fight of the card. I won't even say controversial because it was a straight-up robbery. I picked, in the last fight I did pick Bruno Silva, but I said it was a pick'ems. I didn't have a lot of confidence in that. I hope nobody tailed that for that reason. But Carlos Leal versus Rinat Fakhretdinov. Man, what a fucking terrible robbery. I don't feel too bad because Carlos Leal, if you look at his back, the back knee, the chest acne, all the scars he has, this guy's obviously on roids, so good riddance to him. He's going to probably look like shit in his next fight, but he did have an impressive performance. His chin's made of aluminium as well. He's just eating shots. He doesn't care, and he's rolling with punches. He looked really good. I don't know who took that significant strike line, but apparently Rinat had more significant strikes, which is absolutely not the case. But yeah, Carlos Leal, I thought round one, and man, it was a while ago. I think he won round one, and then I think he won round two, and I think Rinat in round three actually, which was surprising. I think Rinat actually took over and won round three, but I think you give round 1 and 2 to Carlos Leal, and there's an argument to be made that you give round 3 to Carlos Leal as well, based off damage. And but yeah, no, Rinat gets the robbery decision. It was absolutely clear that Carlos Leal had won 2 rounds, but they give it to Rinat shamelessly. Not a single judge had it for Carlos Leal. One of the judges actually gave all 3 rounds to Rinat, which is absolutely ludicrous. And yeah, that's what we get for being in Abu Dhabi. But one of the pluses on this is that we don't have many girl fights, and that this card was the best card of the year. So all in all, it was a dope card. I'm super happy with it. Like I said, I mean, I lost $100 today, and couldn't be happier, man. I just feel like I paid for the pay-per-view, which I'd happily pay for 10 times over. So yeah, great card. I went 10-13 on the picks, so not too bad. I'm probably not counting the Carlos Leal fight as a loss because he absolutely won that fight. Let's just call a spade a spade. That was horrible and absolute corruption from Abu Dhabi. But oh well, went 10-13 on the picks. Not too bad. I definitely feel like I missed some spots on the research, which I wish I didn't miss, and I wish I could have found. I feel like there was potential to go clean sweep, but oh well. We'll get it next time. We're still learning. We're still building into this, posting these picks online and really going full in-depth on the entire card the way that we're doing it. So apologies if anybody tailed my bets and missed, or tailed any of my picks and missed. I tried my best. But yeah, we'll be back stronger than ever next week. Like I said, I'm just really glad that I hope everybody else enjoyed the card as much as I did. If you're a Max Holloway fan, I know you've got a salty taste in your mouth. I'm a huge Robert Whitaker fan, but I'm just excited to kind of see the division moving on and seeing some new blood up there because let's just be real, Robert Whitaker gets smashed by Dricus again, and I'm just kind of done with these old fighters, and I'm ready for a new generation. I feel like this card was the start of that new generation, and I'm extremely pleased with it. It was probably the best card, like I said, of UFC history. In my opinion, I can't think of a better card off the top of my head. So, yeah. Super impressed with everybody's performances. Illia Topuria is the reigning champion, and I'm glad to go to bed knowing that tonight. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully next week we can come back stronger. 10-13 is not good enough for me. I want a clean sweep. I'm coming for that fucking clean sweep, and best believe I'm going to fucking get it.